a drone bypassed every defense system Israel had. Every radar, every tracker, every interceptor. And then it destroyed an Iron Dome battery, 20 missiles gone, in what Hezbollah is calling the first strike of its kind in the history of this conflict. 3 soldiers wounded, rockets over Haifa Bay. This ceasefire is on paper, not in reality. Fresh rocket fire, explosive drone strikes, and growing fears of escalation along the Israel-Lebanon border are once again surging as Hezbollah intensifies attacks against Israeli military positions following a deadly Israeli strike in Beirut. Hezbollah has claimed responsibility for launching rockets towards the Western Galilee and Haifa Bay area, stating that the attack targeted an Israeli military base south of Nahariya. In its usual tone, the Israeli military said that the rockets were either intercepted by air defences or landed in open areas with no injuries reported. Hezbollah said the rocket barrage was carried out in response to an Israeli airstrike in Beirut on May 6th, which killed the commander of Hezbollah's elite, Radwan Force. Alongside the rocket fire, Hezbollah also announced several additional drone and missile operations targeting Israeli troops deployed in southern Lebanon and near the border region. The Israeli military confirmed that 3 soldiers were wounded in 2 separate Hezbollah drone attacks on May 8th. In one incident, an explosive drone detonated inside Israeli territory close to the Lebanese border, seriously wounding 1 soldier and moderately injuring another. In a separate incident earlier in the day, several explosive drones struck near Israeli forces operating in southern Lebanon. The Israeli military said 1 soldier sustained moderate injuries during that attack. The Israel Defense Forces stated that all wounded personnel were transferred to hospitals for treatment and that their families had been informed. Friday's strikes follow an intensive day of resistance operations on Thursday, during which the Lebanese group carried out more than a dozen strikes across southern Lebanon. In one of Thursday's most significant operations, Hezbollah claims that it destroyed a newly deployed Iron Dome platform near the al-Allam site in the western sector using a loitering attack drone, marking, as Al-Mayadeen's correspondent said, the first such incident in the history of the confrontation with the Israeli enemy. The drone bypassed all defense, surveillance and tracking systems before striking the battery, which contained 20 interceptor missiles designated for countering drones and UAVs. Hezbollah also claimed striking an Israeli command center in al-Bayyada twice, first with an FPV drone, then with artillery shells, marking a direct hit on occupation command and control infrastructure. The group also confirmed 2 guided missile strikes near Deir Serian. Hezbollah claimed that 1 missile achieved a direct hit on a Merkava tank positioned near the Litani riverbed, while a second missile attack targeted Israeli soldiers gathered in the same area shortly afterwards. Hezbollah's military media division released 2 videos showing fighters launching rockets toward Israeli positions across the border. One of the videos reportedly documented a rocket strike on May 5th, targeting Israeli troops near Kalat Raj on the outskirts of Deir Serian. The footage showed fighters preparing rocket launchers and entering target coordinates before firing the barrage. Another video, also dated May 5th, showed rockets being launched toward what Hezbollah described as a newly established Israeli military position in Blat, opposite the southern Lebanese border town of Ramyeh. The latest escalation comes amid continuing exchanges of fire across the Israel-Lebanon frontier, despite ongoing international efforts aimed at preventing a broader regional conflict. When Hezbollah fired rockets at the communities of Baram, Dovev, and Zivon, the local security officials did exactly what they were trained to do. They reached for their emergency systems, but to their utter dismay, they found nothing. Israel's Home Front Command had quietly pulled the plug on Shual, a national command and control platform that tracks expected rocket impact zones, predicts where shells will land, and directs emergency teams to casualties in real time. Northern municipalities had relied on it for years. Now, with Hezbollah rockets falling while children were being dismissed from school, the officials managing the response on the ground could not determine the scope of the barrage, its direction, or whether the explosions they were hearing were interceptions or direct hits. The military's reasoning, according to assessments, was that Iranian actors had been monitoring the system to improve the accuracy of future strikes. So the access was cut. No prior coordination with local authorities. No alternative provided. Just silence. The anger from the north has been sharp and unusually public. Upper Galilee Regional Council head Asaf Langleben wrote a protest letter to Home Front Command Chief Major General Shai Klieper, warning of operational blindness.
It is absurd that Hezbollah knows where it is firing. So at least we should also know and be able to deal with the incidents.
In Kiryat Shmona, the most heavily targeted city in northern Israel, Mayor Avichai Stern put it more starkly.
Leaving us without it means abandoning even more lives in an area where most residents already lack protection. Most of our residents are not protected, and now we are also not being given the ability to go out, rescue and save them during a fire.
The IDF, in its response, said access permissions are reviewed periodically based on operational needs and information security requirements, and that sensitive data adjustments were necessary to prevent harm. It added that alerts and instructions continue to be distributed through official Home Front Command channels. Local security officers are not satisfied with that answer. Several have pointed out that a targeted fix, changing passwords, restricting specific users, and patching the leak would have taken days. Instead, entire communities were cut off without warning. Israel's northern border remains active, the ceasefire a formality more than a fact. And the people living under the rockets are now being asked to manage without the one tool that told them where those rockets were going to land. So, the question is, has Bibi really abandoned the north?